What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Skunkworks Projects, the YouTube channel where I get everybody else's project hard running except for mine. Today we're back on Project Z, which is Henry's 350z. We've already knocked out big brakes, sway bars, and now we're on to suspension. Well, now we're on to the rest of the suspension. And if you can't tell by the big box in front of me, this episode is going to be the episode where we get to install the coilovers onto the car. Henry got a set of Fortunato, I'm not sure if these are the 500s or the 5 whatever series coilovers of Fortunato, but he got Fortunato coilovers, and most importantly, he got them with the spring rates and everything already set from the factory. Fortunato hand builds all their coilovers, and they come with a warranty, they're rebuildable, all that great stuff, because we're going to probably break something in the process. So, shout out to Fortunato for making great coilovers and making them rebuildable and expandable if we ever want to upgrade later on down the line. Alright, let's see what we got in the box. First up, got our Fortunato certificate of assembly, spanner wrenches, decals. Looks like two dampening adjustment connectors. This looks like one of the rear coils, front coil, rear coil, and the other front coil. All right, knife. Wait right there. All right, here we have it. Everything's out of the box, out of all the bubble wrap. After having just done the big brake kit, this kind of stands out to me about it is that it already comes with the brackets for all the brake cable to mount up to. If you're unfamiliar with 350z's, the brake lines for the front mount in 2 different places aside from the chassis of the car itself and the caliper itself. And one of those places happens to be on the actual coilover or the strut itself. Now with other coilover companies, you may or may not have to buy an aftermarket bracket in order to be able to mount the brake lines and the low speed sensor cable. Just because those things, again, mount onto the factory strut. But with the Fortunato coilovers, we don't have to worry about that. It came with it on there already. And then just another nice little touch is they all have the size for the hex keys for the collars written right there on the collar itself, so saves you a little bit of time on guesswork. There it is. Here's a look at everything that came in the box with our Fortunato coilovers. Now that just leaves throwing this all in the car, so I guess this will be at next. So as you can tell, it's been a few weeks since we left off, but back from vacation, much needed. Had a fun time in Texas seeing family, and then also taking a short trip over to Mexico and have some one-on-one time with the wife. But yeah, now we're ready to get back and get these coilovers installed to the 350z. But before we put the coilovers in, we got to set preload on it. Basically what we're going to do is set preload, just make sure that all the spring rates and everything, or make sure the springs are set at the same height, at the same amount of compression, just at their natural point before we go into the car. Setting the preload is completely different than setting like ride height and everything else like that. If you go back and watch the coilover video install on the BMW, you'll see that I completely messed that up, and I gotta go back and redo that, so we'll probably do another video. And a big chance to see the difference between like the Fortunato setup on the Z versus the BC coilovers on the BMW. BMW being a divorce set in the rear, this being a true coilover for the rear. But anyway, getting back to the Z coilovers. These are 510 series, not 500 series. I don't know if I said that in the last one. And we're going to go ahead and, like I said, set the preload on. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to take the measurement of the springs at their natural uncompressed state, and we're going to back off a 1/4 inch. These should be 7-inch springs uncompressed. So we're going to back them down to 6 3/4 inches compressed, and that'll be the preload form. And it's going to be the same measurement, the same compressed length for all 4 springs. You don't want any type of mismatch in there on your coilovers. Let's dive into that. We're gonna start with one of the rear setups. Like I was saying, you gotta get the measurement for the uncompressed spring, top to bottom. Should be 7 inches. So I'm just gonna grab my tape measure, put it down, and it is exactly 7 inches. So now what we're gonna do is, with our collar still loose, that Allen key, that 5mm hex key is not tightened down at all. We're gonna compress this spring until it's 6 3/4 inches. Right at 6 3/4. So now we're gonna take our 5mm hex key and we're gonna just clamp this collar down now. All right, so now we're just gonna do that for the other 3 springs and call it good. All right, so we got the wheel off, car in the air, ready to pull out this old strut and spring. As far as I can tell, all I need to do is pop this bolt out right here. We got 2, I think 12 mils up there, and then we're gonna have to either drop this bolt, or if I get to it, that bolt right there to drop this spring perch out of the way. So that's what we got going up next. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this stuff out, make sure everything goes out smoothly, and then I'll record it coming out on the other side once I figure everything out. So we'll see you on that side. Yeah, fuck that up. Threads are good. So what happened there was I put the jack under the actual knuckle instead of under the spring perch like I should have, or under both like I should have. Yeah, I don't know why I did it that way. That's not how I did it on the other side. But at least now you see what happens when you put it the wrong way. So either way, threads are still good on the bolt, so we're going to continue putting this one in. All right, so we got the spring and the strut tower out. It's sitting right there. So it worked out. Pulling this front bolt out worked just fine to get the spring and everything out. Just have to pull it down. I used my breaker bar, stuck it right through there, and then pried it down, and that let me pull the spring out. So now we're going to go ahead and drop the coil in there, and then see where it goes. Alright, so we got one coilover in. See, everything's lining back up in there. Yep. So yeah, that's it for this first side. We still got the other rear side to do, as well as 2 front sides. I think I captured everything that goes into installing the rear, so I'm gonna not bother recording the other side. It's gonna be the exact same thing. And then once we get to the front, I'll pick the camera back up again. Alright, so now we're moving on to the front set of coilovers. As you can see, got the wheel off. However, what we're going to do before any of that is we're going to go ahead and take the strut tower off. Yeah, so like I was saying, the first thing we're going to do is take this strut tower off. The strut tower brace off. This is the factory one. So we got 4 bolts on each side. You gotta take this wire adapter off. There's a little tab right down here. You see? Just push down on that. It slides off. It should get out of the way just enough. We're gonna pull that off, and then that'll give us access to our strut tower, or to our our strut tower bolts, or bolts for our strut. This side is a little bit different, but if you just pinch these, just pinch those in, it should come right out. Alright, so there's one more clip right there that I missed. There we go. Alright, so the front's going to be a little bit different than the rear. In the rear, we took that lower control arm or spring perch off. But for the front, what we're going to do is pop off right here. So a little cotter pin, we're going to have to bend back, pull the cotter pin out, and then we should be able to unbolt this and then remove it from this upper control arm. And that should let the wheel or the hub sag enough to get the spring and stuff out of the way. Anyway, it's too much talking. I just gotta get this undone. All right, new plan. We're gonna put the cotter pin back in on this one, and we're gonna drop that bolt right back there. See if we can't get it out that way. Alright guys, well, we got the front strut tower out. However, we found a major problem. So, if I get the camera to focus, that right there is that's his bushing for his control arm. So yeah, that's obviously not a good sign. It is a stock bushing, and the bushings aren't press fit into the control arm. They're actually part of the control arm itself, so the whole arm's gonna have to be replaced. So be on the lookout for that video soon. But in the meantime, since I was able to get the control arm out, we are just gonna go ahead and keep pushing with the coilover install. It just means kind of doubling up on some of the work later on. But anyway, that's that. Yeah, I just gotta get finished putting the new coilover in. Oh yeah, before I forget, in order to take the strut bar out, gotta take obviously the control arm, like I said. That has to be separated from the knuckle, but also the sway bar link right there has to come undone so that you get enough sag to pull down on this. Same with going in. So just before I forget to throw that in there. All right, so we're running out of battery. Hopefully I get all this on camera. But basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the coilover in. I'm going to bolt down our 3 holes here first so that it actually holds the coilover up and out of the way. And then from there, I'll just position everything back. I'll put the bottom of the coilover into there and then throw the control arm back on. So that's how it's gonna go. Again, hopefully the battery lasts. I don't know. Yeah. All right guys, so it's been a long day. I shouldn't say long, it was just really hot and humid out, so I had to break it up into short spurts. Sorry the camera died or the battery died, so I couldn't show everything, but kind of get the gist. Here's what it looks like after the coilovers are installed. So as you can see, the fronts are pretty low. I'm probably going to have to raise those up just a little bit. The rears don't look too bad, but like I said, the fronts are probably going to scrape everywhere we go. So that's it for this one. I'm going to go move the car around, probably make a short video about adjusting height on coilovers the right way, not the way that I did on the BMW. But the next video is going to either be putting in a new Recaro seat or getting the new control arms in, depending on how fast Henry gets those shipped here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.